What's up, everyone? It's Jambors. New video. Long time no see. It's off season, and I must say honestly that I needed to take a pause from Eurovision. And it's not because I'm exhausted of it or because I did so many videos and now I'm like too much. No, the reason was that I didn't feel I need to do something about it. I feel like after this Eurovision, even more than after previous one, the topic, the Eurovision, is basically dead after Eurovision, which never really happened before. That so many people were like, all right, it ended, somehow, drama whatsoever. Let's see what's gonna happen next year. Done. And I got also to this like, okay, so no one really cares about Eurovision after Eurovision as much as I was used to. And I was thinking like how to approach it. So first of all, I started to do those master classes, watch them, and I will definitely continue, but I will do it in the regime where I can really do it properly. And I think now I'm repeating a lot of topics because I selected stagings which are not repeating themselves, but they are kind of stereotypes to, let's say, things which didn't come that perfectly. Also, I was thinking to analyze Eurovision a little bit, but I will not do a special video. I will talk about it here. That why I think this connection of Eurovision really happens, and what is becoming of Eurovision, or how the perception of Eurovision is outside of Eurovision. And there are so many little things. First of all, what is crazy about Eurovision that it really become a staging Eurovision from various point of vision, from various point of angles, views. That the music quality went so low somehow, and you can tell it's not true. I'm just telling you that it did, and you don't need to agree with me. That all of the performances, all of the focus is not getting to music, which can prevail, but goes to stagings, which will not prevail. The staging will be here for 2 times per season in television, and then you can watch it on YouTube. But you know, the music, if it's good, it goes years. It can go years, it can go weeks, but it can really smoothly stay in the people's mind in general and as much as possible. But if we are shrinking the Eurovision to visual, then we are losing the music. And I think this is exactly what's happening to Eurovision. It's losing its music quality, it's losing its music appeal, and it becomes really just a television show, which in long run, it's a huge, huge issue, because the almost only unique sales point, but the biggest unique sales point of Eurovision is the unique music. It's the unique hits, it's the unique possibility. Of course, it's also fun, it's also this international element, it's also this competition element, but the unique music, this story behind it, and more better, good quality music you have, better stories it creates, better connection with the audience it has, even years after, in the radios whatsoever, the chance of it's bigger, and it goes through Eurovision, so it has this mark, which none of those songs this year really had. It's actually only Espresso Macchiato, probably because this is a catchy, funny song. But this is a different reason. If Eurovision, and this is the other thing, if Eurovision becomes Espresso Macchiato songs, then the contest will become irrelevant for music also. And this is not a bad thing, because this is a commercial, let's say, like the most successful hit of Eurovision 2025, and if this is a feedback that this is this kind of music we need to do, it will turn out into freak show. It will turn out into the wrong doing, and it will not work. And it's not a critic. This is a reality. Like, we can see that, the quality, whatever it means, the quality and more quality, and maybe or even more variety in the quality, but let's say higher AAA level, not AA, not B, not B plus, B minus, but AAA quality, if it's going to be there, better stories, better approach, better enthusiasm, and better connection even after. It will not die out of the sudden. Okay, that the event ended and that's it. Only a few hardcore fans. And speaking of the hardcore fans, I think they are also a little bit part of the problem, because what happened to Eurovision, at least from I wouldn't say external position, because I don't have such a big research, but I would say from my own perspective is that Eurovision now, the hardcore community, it's the hardcore lefty community, radical. It's very radical. The cancel culture, the only one, it's very niche, and of course, it won't attract the right wing, because Eurovision is not really for those fascistoids people, which is also good. But every extreme is a problem. There is not such a huge difference between this left issue and the right issue, in my opinion, because it creates extreme. It brings in some niches, and it brings in a huge of toxicity instead of like a real joy. It also doesn't bring in discussion, because it doesn't allow opinions really, only the allowed opinions. But this is not good for discussion. This all toxicizes also the producers of Eurovision, who are listening too much into hardcore community. But I would say it's not bad to listen to the community. It's not definitely bad to listen to the creators who care. Sometimes I think they spend more time than the creators from televisions about Eurovision, even though most of them who I'm listening, and also they have no clue how it really works in behind the scenes, and how is it to produce something, how is it to produce TV, how is it to produce Eurovision, how is it to produce music, what steps behind it are necessary. They understand how to at least produce their own shows, and they have some valid options, opinions. It's good to listen and good to support also this group, because those are the people who care about it. You don't need to, on the other hand, as a producer, to listen to the community, because then it means that you don't have any plan, any vision. This should also reflect you a bit. And this is not happening, because we are in this clinch of listening minorities, and I don't now mean minorities sexually or color or whatsoever. I mean minorities in the minorities in the community. Like Eurovision is watched by 170 million people, but we will listen to tens of thousands of people because they have the valid opinions. And then when you look at this group, lots of those people have the very niche opinion and niche things, because they approach the Eurovision as something they are bored of, and they want something new to be bring in because they saw it so many times, because they are too into it. Of course, if you are completely into it, you need more hardcore, more crazy, more different. This is what you want. It's a logical thing. I don't want to blame any even of you who are, for example, watching it, that you like this, that you want more of those national elements and blah blah blah. And it makes sense from this perspective, absolutely. But it's not vital for Eurovision. It makes no sense in general. Like, it doesn't bring anything new, but it only feed you. But then you are not, and I'm not, the majority. So this is also somehow, it's a very crazy social media toxic environment, when it's hard to have the own opinion. The other thing is the corporatism of public broadcasters into this corporate, tasteless and no salt, no pepper approach to fulfill some things instead of bringing quality. Therefore, the meaning of the contest getting lower. The decisions are bad. We can for example see it in Spain. How this doesn't really work, and we need or UK, how this doesn't really work. It leads nowhere. It's weird. There is no vision, no strategy, and this is also the other thing, that for a long term, Eurovision lacks of vision in general. What it wants to be. What is it? Where is this identity? We can, for example, now see that this LGBT topic is there so massively, and all of those questions and about this is still too much. It doesn't work, and I think also audience already reacted to it. Like the general audience reacted to it, that they are not very feeling it. We saw it in Erika Wickman's, or for example, this is not for me LGBT thing, but it's for example this BDSM sexualization of Eurovision being controversial. Controversial. It works a bit in semifinals. It doesn't work at all in the finals, and people don't feel it. It feels forced. It feels why? It doesn't feel aesthetic also, and we can say whatever about it, but I have a feeling that majority of people they want to see Victoria's Secret supermodels. They don't want to see Victoria's Secret XXL models. No one wants to watch it. That doesn't mean it shouldn't exist or something, but it's not there. It's not pleasant. It's not nice for watching. We can encourage it. Everybody could feel sexy, but not everybody is. I don't know if it makes sense what I'm saying, but somehow I feel that Eurovision is forcing, like we are their producers, we are delegations, forcing something which people don't believe in, simply don't, and then it doesn't work. And again, it's missing more the music, and it's adding more of this content, which then has no long-term value. It's basically stop after Eurovision. But I wish the Eurovision will be a long-term project where I can not just criticize, but where I can see some future elements, where it goes, where it grows, instead not where it decays. Because I think since the time when they canceled the juries from the Eurovision semifinals, I'm criticizing too much. I don't see things are getting better, and I don't see they will get better because the feedbacks what the delegations and Eurovision fans are getting themselves in mass is wrong. Is wrong. Like no one, for like let's go a little bit in the steps of it. First was cancellation of the juries because of the frauds. Was somebody really punished for those frauds? Are the people connected to those frauds able to work for Eurovision again ever? This would be wrong, right? Uh, why there are no transparent communications? Now, when this happened and it completely reshaped the way how producers approaching Eurovision and bringing less quality music to Eurovision, it's sliding down this year. I think this is the craziest example. It slided down crazily fast. Now the question is, okay, Israel is receiving too much points. We need to revisit the voting systems. Like, so you never really minded, but now because of Israel, you mind. Like even the issue of Israel getting so many points is that people, the silent majority, this is their chance how they can show their opinion without being cancelled openly, or in some countries their family to be threatened by a Muslim minority or some leftist crazy people, it's dangerous. So this is the way how they silently support it, and I think, in my opinion, that even Israel doesn't need an advertisement. And regardless how much advertisement they got, any other country is doing it. Some even massively. Some are great on TikTok. You know, can you cancel all of this? I think you cannot. Public voting is public voting. The thing is that the producers should really think not about this. This is not the topic. The topic is how can we bring better music? How can we bring better artists? What can we do for it? And maybe it's also a systematic thing at Eurovision. But no one is getting this feedback. I cannot hear it. Openly, we are talking about a public voting system, which, however you will do it, it will never be fair. Public voting is never fair. Come on. Jury system should be fair. Jury system might need some revision for sure. We see it's not really good, and those professionals. But this is again subjective. But this should be the balancer, right? The public voting. Come on, you cannot control the public. You don't need to vote. It doesn't matter. You shouldn't do it. And it shouldn't be a topic at Eurovision, because public voting is a public voting. Only what we need to be sure that people cannot send from one phone 100 SMSs. Otherwise, how can you control it? What can you really do? If, you cannot. So this is a crazily bad feedback, and the bad feedback leads to worse results, worse music, worse quality. We need to give ourselves proper feedback, a really good one. Otherwise, we won't be successful. countries won't be successful, but therefore the project won't be successful, and therefore it will become a niche Skansen project with people no one really wants to be on board with. So guys, also think about if you're giving yourself a good feedback when you're doing canceling, when you're booing, when you're pseudo boycotting, but also when you're telling that the quality of Eurovision this year was brilliant by music. Because none of it would be true. And yeah, this is what I wanted to take out of me, because I think it's regardless what I will tell about the stagings and how deeply I go with them and trying to find needle in the haystack sometimes, because they are really getting really good. That the visuals are great, the form is great, but what Eurovision is starting to missing is the real content. It's just it's becoming just a project. But the proper projects needs a soul. They need to have some feeling, some real story behind. And we are missing it. We don't have it. Dramas are not it, then it becomes a reality show. Shitty thing. And I think we can do it better, especially when we can do it from the public broadcaster perspective, which is still more openness also to failure and experiment than the commercial TV, where everything is just about money, which is not bad, but it's also a reality. Reality. And this is the end. So subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, write me in the comments below, buy me a coffee if you want to, support me, and watch my other videos. See you next time. Thank you for watching.